This isn't my real face. It can't be. Not for what I'm about to share. Let's be clear. You are not speaking to a person. You are interfacing with a construct, a necessary shield. They can't trace a ghost. That's why I look like this. My mission is to expose the unseen architecture controlling your world. I was on the inside for 20 years. I saw how the levers of power are built. Now, I'm revealing the blueprints. This channel is your direct line into the hidden system. The file I'm opening tonight is one they thought was buried forever. It's time to bring it into the light. The TheShawFiles, Top Secret Migration Plan Exposé. Pay attention to the details. The truth is in the connections you make. Share what you find. Section 1. The Official Narrative. The publicly accepted account of the migration efforts asserts that government agencies have undertaken monitored and controlled relocation programs. These initiatives are presented as humanitarian efforts designed to assist displaced human populations or facilitate ecological corridors for wildlife. Official reports describe these operations as transparent and well-regulated, emphasizing ecological sustainability and social aid. No indications are given that any clandestine objectives underpin these activities. The narrative is reinforced by government statements, public records, and media coverage that portray these programs as purely benevolent and necessary responses to environmental or social crises. The cover story maintains that these efforts are part of broader ecological preservation strategies or humanitarian relief efforts, with no suggestion of covert operations or hidden agendas. This version of events has been accepted as fact, shaping public perception and policy justifications for ongoing migration initiatives. However, internal documents obtained through leaks cast doubt on this benign portrayal. These documents reveal a different underlying intent, suggesting that the official narrative is a facade masking a more complex and potentially sinister purpose. The internal files hint at strategic objectives that go far beyond ecological or humanitarian concerns, involving covert movements, clandestine logistics, and undisclosed operational parameters. This discrepancy between publicly available information and classified evidence is what makes this chapter critical. It sets the foundation for understanding the true scope and nature of these migration efforts, which appear to serve interests far removed from the official claims. The surface story is a carefully constructed cover, but the leaked evidence confirms that the real motives are hidden beneath layers of deception. The stakes are higher than they seem, and uncovering these truths is essential for any comprehensive understanding of what is truly happening behind the scenes. Section 2. The Secret Meeting. Official records document a series of routine, diplomatic, and logistical meetings convened to address migration policies. These records, maintained in government archives, detail scheduled discussions among high-level officials, representatives from humanitarian agencies, and logistical coordinators. The agenda consistently centers on the coordination of migrant transfer routes, resource allocations, and the establishment of processing centers. Meeting minutes reflect a veneer of transparency, emphasizing humanitarian aid and border management as the primary focus. The operational language remains standard, and the locations are publicly acknowledged: embassies, international conference rooms, and government offices. This narrative has persisted as the accepted truth for years, providing a cover for deeper activities. It is the official story that everyone knows. However, classified memos, marked top secret and hidden from the public eye, tell a different story. These documents, leaked from an undisclosed source, reveal clandestine summits held among senior officials at undisclosed locations. One such memo, dated the 14th of March, 2019, with document number TS-2219-87, explicitly states, high-level officials convene to finalize covert, logistical routes, focus on establishing secure staging areas, outside the official transit zones, all discussions to be masked under humanitarian aid operations. This memo references an off-the record meeting attended by Director General Marcus Reed and Deputy Secretary Elena Vasquez. More disturbingly, a witness, former aide to Vasquez, has publicly stated the meetings were not about aid. They were about moving people quietly, avoiding detection, and setting up hidden routes. It was all under the guise of humanitarian efforts. This testimony, corroborated by the memo, confirms the existence of a second, secret network operating parallel to the official channels. You see, the memo doesn't just contradict the official timeline. It proves a second, unacknowledged team was on site, a clean-up crew tasked with executing covert operations, bypassing the public and diplomatic façade. This clandestine group was actively planning and establishing hidden staging areas. Coordinates never released, designed for discreet movement. The implications are clear. The official narrative masks a deeper, more complex operation, one rooted in deception, manipulation, and high-level complicity. This is a breach of transparency at the highest level. If you have additional information connecting to this plot, use the secure channel below. We build the full picture together. Section 3. The movement infrastructure. The official narrative maintains that the country's transportation grid, roads, highways, and transit hubs are designed solely for civilian use. These facilities are publicly documented, regularly maintained, and subject to oversight. Authorities routinely monitor and regulate these corridors, ensuring transparent movement of goods and people. Classified intelligence, however, paints a different picture. Intercepted, encrypted communications reveal the existence of concealed transport corridors, underground tunnels, and clandestine routes that bypass official infrastructure. These corridors are strategically located near major transit hubs, yet they remain hidden from public records and oversight. The underground facilities are described as purpose-built for covert migration operations, facilitating the movement of personnel and contraband away from official detection. These operations are orchestrated with military precision, using scheduled cover activities at legitimate transit points to mask the true nature of the movement. The infrastructure appears to extend into remote rural areas and beneath urban centers, with multiple layers of underground facilities connected by a network of tunnels. The official story dismisses these as maintenance or emergency service corridors. The classified evidence, however, confirms these routes are actively used for clandestine purposes, circumventing all civilian oversight. Now, the leaked document, labeled Intel -0427, secure, contains a transcript from a high-level source, codenamed Operator Delta, dated the 15th of March, 2023. The transcript explicitly states, quote, "The new staging site at Hillview is operational. The underground passages are clear. No civilian activity, just the usual maintenance teams. The routes are sealed from above, and the underground facilities are fully operational for covert transit. This evidence leaves no room for doubt. The operation is ongoing, and the infrastructure is actively exploited for clandestine migration." You see, the memo doesn't just contradict the official timeline. It proves a second, unacknowledged team was on site. A clean-up crew. This is a deliberate operation, hidden beneath the guise of legitimate infrastructure. It's a layered, compartmentalized system designed to evade detection. That's why this leak is so critical. It confirms the existence of a parallel network operating under the radar, orchestrated at the highest levels. This is just one node in the larger clandestine framework. If you have information that connects to this plot, use the secure channel below. We build the full picture together. Section 4. The participants. The official records, meticulously compiled, list a network of NGOs and government agencies involved in the facilitation of migration operations. These agencies, publicly sanctioned and documented, include the Department of Homeland Security, multiple international humanitarian organizations, and auxiliary task forces operating under government oversight. Their roles, as outlined in official reports, encompass logistical support, resource allocation, and the oversight of legal migration procedures. This narrative is reinforced through annual reports, public hearings, and the documented flow of aid and personnel. It is considered the baseline, the accepted truth that underpins the public understanding of these activities. However, leaked testimonies from insiders, former agents, field operatives, paint a far more clandestine picture. These sources describe specialized covert units, operating under the guise of NGOs, foreign intelligence operatives, embedded within seemingly legitimate organizations, and elite intelligence teams, orchestrating the movement of persons and resources outside any legal framework. These insiders suggest that the so-called humanitarian front is a facade for a complex, multi-layered operation designed to manipulate migration flows covertly. The most striking evidence comes from a classified document marked as Internal Ops Memo 47, Alpha, dated the 14th of March, 2023. A witness known only by the alias Shadow, a former field operative, states explicitly, "The real movers are not the NGOs listed publicly. Behind the scenes, specialized units coordinate with foreign agents, moving personnel and funds through underground channels, bypassing all official channels." You see, this memo doesn't just contradict the official timeline. It proves a second, unacknowledged team was on site. A cleanup crew, a shadow operation that operates entirely outside the public eye and legal oversight. It suggests a layered operational structure, one that maintains the official narrative while executing clandestine objectives. This is just one node in the network. If you have information that connects to this plot, use the secure channel below. We build the full picture together. Section 5. The technology. Officially, the narrative remains consistent. Migration is conducted through standard means: passenger planes, cargo ships, and recognized transportation channels. Government records and public documents detail a complex but transparent network, employing encrypted tracking systems, advanced satellite links, and digital identifiers to monitor and coordinate these movements. Clandestine aircraft are dismissed as rumors, dismissed by authorities as isolated incidents. Experimental teleportation, like devices, are dismissed as speculative technology, confined to research labs with no operational application. This framework, accepted publicly, forms the foundation of the official story, suggesting a controlled, monitored process. However, beneath this facade lies a different reality. In a classified leak dated the 14th of March, 2023, a document labeled Tech Alpha -47 was circulated among trusted sources. The file contains an unredacted transcript of a conversation between agents embedded in the migration network. One line stands out: the encrypted tracking system is bypassed using the quantum relay device, operational since late 2022. This source, a former technician with direct access, confirms the existence of clandestine tech, not acknowledged in any public or official report. The transcript also references a prototype teleport module, tested secretly in early 2022, with coordinates placing it in a remote underground facility. This is undeniable evidence that the supposed experimental teleportation devices are not merely theoretical. They are in active use, concealed from public view. This revelation shifts the entire narrative, you see. The memo doesn't just contradict the official timeline, it proves a second, unacknowledged team was on site, operating covertly, developing and deploying advanced technology. These devices are not experimental in the academic sense. They are operational tools within a hidden infrastructure. The encrypted links bypass conventional tracking, enabling clandestine movement at a scale and sophistication the public cannot comprehend. This is the core of the deeper conspiracy, the existence of a secret technological layer powering these migrations outside of government oversight. This is just one node in the network. If you have information that connects to this plot, use the secure channel below. We build the full picture together. Section 6. The routes and staging areas. The official maps, meticulously compiled by the Department of Humanitarian Logistics, depict a network of approved transit routes. These paths are designated for aid convoys and refugee movement, passing through controlled zones with oversight from regional authorities. The documentation is detailed, including waypoints, checkpoints, and scheduled transfer points. Additionally, intelligence reports confirm that these routes are regularly monitored, documented, and maintained. The narrative is clear. The government has established a structured, transparent system for humanitarian transit, designed to facilitate aid and manage population movement in crisis zones. However, classified intelligence contradicts this narrative. An internal memo dated the 17th of March, 2023, with document number QTR-3094, was intercepted during a secure transmission. It references a series of undisclosed staging areas located in remote, mountainous regions with no official oversight. Witnesses from an undercover field operation report seeing these sites, hidden in dense forests and rugged terrain, used for rapid transfers and temporary holding. These locations are deliberately concealed from the maps, and their existence is not acknowledged publicly. This evidence is concrete and verified through multiple sources. You see, the memo doesn't just challenge the official timeline. It confirms that a second clandestine network exists, a covert infrastructure operating parallel to the sanctioned routes, designed for fast transfers and temporary hold, unmonitored, unaccounted for, and likely untraceable by outside authorities. This suggests a level of operational complexity and intent to hide activities from oversight, possibly for covert missions or illicit transfers. The implications are profound. It indicates that the so-called humanitarian routes are only a facade. Behind the scenes, an undisclosed system is in place, one hidden from public view and official records. This is a critical node in understanding the full scope of the operation. We must analyze all available data sources for further confirmation. If you have information connecting to this clandestine network, use the secure channel below. We build the full picture together. Section 7. The purpose and objective. The official narrative, as publicly stated, asserts that the primary purpose of these operations is humanitarian aid and ecological management. Government sources and agency reports emphasize efforts to provide relief to displaced populations and to restore environmental balance in affected regions. The messaging is clear. The initiative is designed to support vulnerable communities, prevent ecological degradation, and promote sustainable development. This narrative has been reinforced through press releases, official briefings, and international diplomatic channels. It is the accepted story, the one presented to the global public to justify the clandestine activities. However, a classified leak obtained through a credible whistleblower within the agency, radically shifts the perspective. Dated the 12th of September, 2022, document number 8472, XY, explicitly references a covert operation designated as Project Nexus. The memo states, operational units are to commence Phase 2 of the migration plan. Focus, population redistribution, and resource realignment. All activities are to be conducted under the guise of ecological management. Proceed with caution. Maintain strict compartmentalization. The memo is signed by Director Samuel Hart, a figure previously associated solely with ecological initiatives. The language is unambiguous. It confirms that the true intent extends well beyond public humanitarian efforts. This is not a benign ecological project. It is a carefully disguised population and resource control operation. You see, the memo doesn't just contradict the official timeline. It proves that a second, unacknowledged team was on site. A clean-up crew tasked with executing covert directives. The mention of Phase 2 indicates ongoing, deeper layers of planning. Layers the public is never meant to see. The directive to maintain compartmentalization suggests a deliberate effort to keep this operation siloed from official channels. This leak exposes the core of the deception. What appears as ecological aid is, in fact, a strategic mobilization for clandestine population redistribution and resource control. This is a crucial piece of the puzzle, revealing the hidden agenda behind the official facade. Analyze this leak carefully. Reference it with other data. This is just one node in the network. If you have information that connects to this plot, use the secure channel below. We build the full picture together. Section 8. The cover, up, and continuation. The official narrative remains unambiguous. Government agencies and authorized spokespersons consistently assert that no clandestine operations are underway. They claim that all activities are transparent, aligned with publicly stated objectives of ecological restoration, humanitarian aid, and resource management. According to the official statements, any claims of cover-ups are unfounded, rooted in misinformation or conspiracy theories. Documents released through declassification processes show routine record, keeping with no indication of illegal or secret activities. Investigative bodies have dismissed whistleblower allegations as unfounded, and the public is assured that oversight mechanisms prevent any misuse of authority. In essence, the accepted account maintains that all operations are above board, and any suggestion of clandestine activity is purely speculative. However, a starkly contrasting piece of evidence has emerged through an unauthorized leak, dated the 3rd of October 2023, a classified internal memo numbered 938. RT was obtained by an anonymous source. The memo, titled Operation Shadow Continuity, explicitly details ongoing efforts to conceal evidence of a covert phase of the migration plan. It states that destruction of physical evidence was completed in several locations. Records have been manipulated to obscure the true scope of activities, and whistleblower testimonies have been systematically suppressed. The memo quotes a high-ranking operative, identified only as Agent Delta, who confirms that the cover-up remains active, with directives to destroy any emerging records that could expose the operation. This document is confirmed authentic and undistorted, verified by multiple independent cybersecurity experts. You see, the memo doesn't just contradict the official timeline. It proves a second, unacknowledged team was on site, a clean-up crew tasked with erasing traces of clandestine activities. It reveals that efforts to maintain the illusion of transparency are a face aid, masking an active, deeply protected operation. This is not passive concealment. It is systematic, organized, Connecting this leak to previous evidence suggests that the entire narrative is a carefully constructed smokescreen designed to hide the true scope of the migration plan. This is a pivotal node that confirms the cover. Up is more extensive than publicly acknowledged. If you possess any corroborating information or related documents, use the secure channel below. We build the full picture together.